What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about the reasons why I don't respect my family members, the reasons why I don't keep in contact or I don't keep in touch with them, is because over the years, while I was living with them, they would do a lot of harmful stuff to where they would do a lot of harmful things to me, and like whenever I call them out or whenever I tell them why they're doing the things they're doing, that's very harmful to me, such as being verbally abusive or saying nasty things to me, or even them laying hands on me, or them acting one way, but then once I defend myself, and then they'll try to have other family members to gang up on me. And whenever I call them out, that's when they'll try to scapegoat me, or they'll try to gang up on me with other family members. And that's quite common for people who are quote unquote, there's actually a term for this shit. So that's how you know this is not a coincidence. Obviously, this shit was like a spiritual fucking thing. So people call it being the black sheep of the family or being the scapegoat of the family, right? So unfortunately, I experienced that shit. So yeah, so that's so like it was crazy because whenever they'll do it's a very spiritual thing because it's very manipulative and very like deceitful when they'll try to harm you in a way. And every family members operate the same way like that. It's a fucking spiritual thing. That's why I feel like we do not have free will. We're meant to experience certain bullshit within this reality, within this 3D realm, within this human experience. Because we're meant to learn bullshit ass lessons and this ain't shit human experience pretty much. So, but yeah, but whenever my family members like they'll cause a lot of harm on me, and like whenever they'll do things, they just wouldn't take accountability, and they'll always flip the script. They'll always put the blame on me, even though they're the ones that started it, and I'll defend myself. And it gets too intense to the point where eventually it will lead up to me having to call the police, or the cops will get involved. It will involve us laying hands on each other, a lot of lot of verbal attacks, cussing each other out, a lot of like physical violence and stuff like that. So, and it's not just with one specific family member. Every family member is like this, and obviously, you have the main one because I'm not dumb. Like a lot of people, like they make YouTube videos and they talk about like dysfunctional families or being around narcissistic family members and stuff like that, right? And all that shit is true. And have you noticed all the people who experience being in toxic families, being in very narcissistic families and abusive families, have you noticed all the same shit? Everything's the same. Everything's the fucking same. Like different situations, but how the family attack one person or a select few people, the group of family members, they all operate the same way. So this is why I feel like it is a very evil ass spiritual thing going on, a spiritual phenomenon, which I've been doing this, but a lot of people they don't usually like break it down like that, like, but so it's like this is why I feel like we don't have free will, or like everything happens from a spiritual lesson. So are we meant to experience abuse, or did this shit happen from? I understand this shit happens from a spiritual reason, but why is it that me and a lot of people, we experience the same things? We experience shit that's very similar, right? So we all have experienced just the fact that there's a term of the black sheep of the family, or the scapegoat of the family, where all the family members gang up in one person, right? They attack that person and try to destroy that person because they're operating from us, because they're all fucking retarded and they can't think for themselves, and they're all under a spell, manipulated by a demonic entity. People call it the Jezebel spirit. People call it the narcissistic spirit. People say it's demonic entities, demonic possession. Who the fuck knows? But without a doubt, they are influenced by a very negative energy to attack one person. And I'm not saying that one person they're attacking is an angel, is all perfect and all love and light. No, that person does make mistakes. That person is human. But I'm saying like we are the normal people, but these people aren't normal. But we think we're going crazy because there's a saying, if you're surrounded by people who are insane, then they're gonna make you feel insane, even though you're not. These people aren't insane, but they're making you feel insane because it's you against all these people, pretty much. And it's a spiritual thing. So then these family members, they're very good at being two-faced. They're very good at lying. So they'll act one way behind closed doors, but then when they're around other people, when they're around their friends or other family members, they'll act like they wouldn't do such a thing. They'll act completely different. Now, I'm not sure they do this shit purposely or they're doing this shit very manipulatively. They're very like, what's the word? Very tactical, or they're very like, they know what they're doing, either that or they don't know what they're doing. But so it gets complicated because there are a lot of instances where my family members, they're very two-faced, they're very covert. So like one family member, like he or she will like disrespect me and try to cause problems. And then when I call that family member out, when I defend myself, then that same family member would run to the other family members and tell them that I'm starting problems, I'm the problem, even though they're the ones that provoked me or they're the ones that started it. And they'll lie towards other family members, and then all these family members, since they can't fucking think for themselves, since they're really retarded, they'll believe in that family member, and then they'll gang up, and they all will gang up on me. They all think I'm the problem, and there's a term for that. They're known as the flying monkeys. So within narcissistic family dynamics and narcissistic family households, you have the narcissistic parent, and then you have, or it has to be the parent, but it could be a narcissistic person because they're all narcissistic. But there's always a very narcissistic person who likes to start all these fucking problems, and then they like to gang up. They like to have all the other family members gang up one person. The people who easily believe in the narcissistic person's stories and bullshit ass stories and they can't think for themselves and they're so easily influenced, they're known as the flying monkeys, meaning like wherever they're told, they'll do it. But the flying monkeys, the term for that, these people, they're so fucking dumb, they're so fucking stupid that like they can't put two and two together. And even if they do know what's going on, they choose not to call that narcissistic person out, either because they're scared of them, because they're pussies, or because deep down they are jealous of the victim. They're jealous of that person and they're very envious of that person because of the qualities, the traits, and like that. These people, they could achieve more things, they could be in a better position financially, right? But they still have a lot of envy and jealousy towards that specific person. It doesn't matter the age. You could be younger or older. It doesn't matter. They could be jealous of that person. So that's why it's so easy for them to believe what the narcissistic person, the person who likes to provoke shit, it's so easy for them to believe their side of the story. So that's why when me and a lot of people who experience these narcissistic family households and these abusive family dynamics, we all experience the same shit. It just has to be within family households. It could be within the workplace. It could be anything. But this shit usually happens. I mean, it doesn't usually happen, but I guess I'm talking about family because that's what I've experienced, and other people also experience these things too. But this shit could also happen at the workplace and other situations. But anyways, like, but these flying monkeys, these people who easily believe, they're so gullible at what the other person is saying, so they get attack one person. The reason why it's so easy for them to believe in that one person is not because they are dumb and they are stupid, but they're not that dumb, they're not stupid. The reason why they like to believe in that person is because they're also envious and jealous of that one person. That's why. So this is why they like to play dumb and they like to play gullible, and they use it as an excuse to attack that one person because out of jealousy and envy, because they want to see that person down. That's why. That's pretty much what it is. Now, the reason why it is a spiritual thing and it is a demonic thing is because why is it that me and a lot of people experience the fucking similar things all over YouTube? Why is it that? So clearly, this is not a coincidence. Clearly, it's something fucking spiritual going on that's orchestrated by a higher power or some type of fucking energy. But no one really talks about that. This is why I feel like we don't have free will, or like, are we meant to experience? I understand there's a higher perspective on why we experience those things, and so we can learn, evolve, and grow, and become stronger as a person. But at the same time, and to help us spiritually awaken and all this other stupid ass shit. But like, what has me fucked up is that like, are we meant to endure all the abuse and all the confusion and all the suffering purposely, just so for the sake of our spiritual awakening? So that's a fucking problem I have within the higher power, within God or the creator. Because did they orchestrate this shit to happen? What the fuck is going on? So like, or is it the devil or like a negative entity or like a demonic spirit that's trying to harm these people? You know what I'm saying? So what's going on? Or both, Or maybe it is a coincidence. Who the fuck knows? But this shit is a fucking problem that a lot of people are experiencing. Some people experience it more intense than others. But like I said, this doesn't have to happen within family households. This also happen within the workplace. But that's the only reason why I don't fuck with my family members. I had no job. I had no car. I mean, I did have a job, but it was a dead-end job. The area I was living in had no opportunity. My parents, my family, they never taught me how to drive a car. I had a stepdad and a mother. My parents were divorced, but my real biological father and my stepfather and my mother, they never taught me how to drive. They never introduced me to a social security card, even a state ID. I learned those things on my own, and I earned those things. I had to learn how to get those things. This is why the military is saving my life. But like my parents, my biological father, my mother, my stepfather, they never taught me how to drive, and they never taught me how to get my license. They never taught me how to fix a car. They never taught me how to maintain it and drive it. They never gave me a driving license. Even if they did, they're very impatient and they're very explosive. So they were useless for shit. They're fucking useless. But yet they want to blame me that I don't have a car. You know what I'm saying? But even though they're the ones that they set me up to, you know what I'm saying, to be that way. So it's fucking ridiculous. Now that fast forward, I'm in the military. I got my license. I have my own fucking car. It's a nice car. I make stable income and I'm about to have my own place. So like, I'm good. So if you're righteous, and you always have the last laugh. God will always have your back in a way. So, but I'm aware all this shit was. I'm not gonna say it, but so this is ridiculous. So if you're around narcissistic parents, but within my family, they're very barbaric. Like they're very dumb. They don't think for themselves, and they have a lot of mental health issues. I'm not gonna mention what they've experienced within their life leading up to them having mental health issues, but just know they've been through certain things in life that made them have a lot of mental health issues. And when they're undiagnosed, and with these doctors and these healthcare, since it's so fucking expensive, it's hard for them to get medical help. This is why they're living life being undiagnosed, and they're just acting like a fucking fool, and having all these narcissistic traits and all these emotionally like unintelligent and like being very narcissistic and having a lot of mental health issues because they're not diagnosed and they're not getting treatment. They're not getting help because the healthcare system is so fucking rigged, pretty much. And that doesn't happen with my family members. That happens to everyone else in general. That happens to a lot of people too. So it's like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So this is why people call this the devil's playground, because clearly this shit is a lot of evil shit. A lot of corruption does happen. But apparently in God or the universe, I like to see a lot of this shit that happen based on free will or whatever the fuck. But yeah, but it's insane. So so they're too toxic. My family, they'll never take accountability. Whenever I try to defend myself, whenever I try to reason with them, they wouldn't budge, or they wouldn't see from my perspective, and they all gang up, try to harm me. So there's too much chaos, too much physical fighting and verbal fighting. And whenever I was living with them, like, you know, my older sibling, he has two baby mamas by accident, and like whenever they're in the house, like he doesn't even work. His baby mamas don't even fucking work, I think. So they're always in the house, they're always arguing, they're always playing loud ass fucking movies or TV shows and shit like that. And you got fucking like babies and little kids just roaming around the house and just screaming and yelling. And it's hard for me to live in that environment because everything's so fucking chaotic. Everything is so fucking chaotic, man. It's just fucking ridiculous. So I'm glad I'm away from that situation and everything is nice and quiet. You know what I'm saying? So this is how it is. So I think I'm happy that I got out of that situation and made something out of myself. This is why I feel like the military, it kind of did save me in a way to get out of that chaotic household, pretty much. You know, now I'm on my way to live the type of life I want to live if I continue to put in the work. Not going to be easy, but if I continue being disciplined and working hard, then not guaranteed, but I will be in the right path, pretty much. I already am in the right path. I'm already in a safe position to where I'm away from them and I'm making something out of myself and I'm doing good things. But what I'm saying is that if I want to take it to the next level, to become more successful, make more money, etc., to travel on the road, to live my dreams, I got to put in my work, pretty much. But y'all get what I'm saying. But where was I? But yeah, but they're just, again, the older they're getting, the older I'm getting, is I couldn't tolerate them. The older they're getting, they become more like mentally ill. Um, they just wouldn't take accountability. They're too like they're too emotionally unaware. Like they just wouldn't take accountability. That's the thing. And like I don't know, it's because they're that dumb. Maybe they are, or they're influenced by demonic entity, or is it generational curse, or it's just like they just don't know any better. And just because they don't know any better, that doesn't give them an excuse for them for acting like a fool. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't know any better, then technically that makes them retarded. So I need to get the fuck away from them because they're gonna be a detriment and they're gonna be very harmful to me, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but the police will always be involved. Either always had to call the cops, or they had to call the cops. And whenever they do call the cops, it's because I was defending myself righteously, you know what I'm saying? But they like to lie, and you know what I'm saying? So they're the types of people. I'm talking about my mother, my father, my stepfather, mom, siblings, and all that. These are the types of people where they'll act one way behind closed doors towards me, but then when down in public, they'll act in one way. You know what I'm saying? My biological father, I'm gonna say he's narcissistic because obviously he wasn't part of the household. He's not abusive like them, but I would say he's very absent. He was never part of my life like that, or like I feel like he's very absent, and like he's very emotionally unavailable, and like that's why I cut contact off with him. That's why I don't deal with him. He tried to follow me on social media, which is weird. I mean, I did block him on his contacts, but I'm like, first off, if you're gonna follow me on social media, contact me, or try to find a different number, contact me. Don't follow me on social media and don't do anything, you fucking weirdo. So I blocked him on social media. That happened like last year. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm getting at, where my family is very fucking retarded. And I noticed like I have like my grandma and my auntie, like they're following me, and like they're trying to send me a friend request to Facebook, and I blocked them, and it was just a lot of weird shit, you know. And then like my brother, like the same guy who like the same guy who will like try to abuse me and stuff like that. He'll always, growing up, he'll always verbally abuse me and physically attack me, and like he'll always have family members that gang up on me like that, and he's very fake and two-faced. That same family member, he had the nerve to message me through an app. I'm not gonna name the type of app, but but he messaged me through an app after I blocked him, through his contacts and all that, and he still messaged me, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? They're the ones that cause me a lot of harm. And whenever I do message them, it's because I'm cussing them out, and they'll block me, and I'll block them. But yeah, they still follow me on social media, or they'll still try to keep in contact with me through different apps. You know what I'm saying? So what sense does that make? So, and I still block them. I don't entertain it. I just block them. So it's ridiculous, man. They do cross a lot of boundaries. It's ridiculous. Basically, I'm thinking about, should I like talk about like what each of them does or not? But overall, basically, what they all do, they don't take accountability. They don't think. They're very two-faced, and when you call them out, they become very violent, physically and or verbally. So that's why I had to cut them off, and that's why I don't respect them, and that's why I got far the fuck away from them. I don't care if they're dead. I don't care if they have their funeral. I'm not going to it. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm getting the fuck away from them. And I haven't talked to them in about 2 or 3 years, and it's about to be Christmas, and I'm still not visiting them. I'm so fucking happy because of that. There's a lot of narcissism, there's a lot of violence, and there's a lot of paranormal shit and very sinister shit that's going on within these households and within that family that I don't want nothing to do with. I'm getting the fuck away from them. They cause a lot of mental health issues within me. They cause a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of fight and flight responses and stuff like that while I was living with them. But now that I'm away from them, it's been about 3 years, I'm still in the process of healing. It was not easy going through the healing process of, especially with these Mercury retrogrades and these full moon cycles and all these astrological influences and these energies. But So the healing process of me getting away from them and blocking all them kind of contacts with them, and me living my own from a chaotic environment to a peaceful environment, um, within my own place, like living my own place. It was very challenging because like I had to get used to it. But there's a lot of purging. There's a lot of releasing anger, a lot of crying, a lot of grieving, a lot of unfairness, a lot of injustices. The healing process wasn't easy, but now today I'm feeling a lot more better. I feel a lot more calm, feel a lot more relaxed, and I'm still trying to get used to it. Sometimes I get bored because I'm not used to being in such a very like peaceful environment. But my body's getting used to it, my nervous system getting used to it, and the more I'm healing, the more like my body feels better pretty much. But it was a long process. There's years of grueling healing, anger, trauma, sadness, grief, and all that. But fast forward from now, I'm feeling 100 times better. You know what I'm saying? There's less grieving, there's less purging because I feel like I've done all that a lot. So now I'm just trying to get used to living in peace. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm trying to process all what happened so I can share it to you guys on what I've experienced. This video, I feel like I haven't explained it enough because I'm in a rush. But I will make more videos about this. But I will go more into detail about the type of bullshit and fuckery that my family members were doing. So, but that's the overall reasons why I don't respect my family members. I don't keep in contact with them because they've done a lot of dirt. They're very two-faced. They don't take accountability. They're very verbally and physically reactive. And that's why I don't want to deal with them. And it's just too chaotic. Part of it does feel spiritual. Not only because me and a lot of people also experience the same things, but also because whenever I interact with them, they'll make me vibrate at such a low level to where now I feel angry. Now I have a lot of anxiety. Now I feel confused. And now I'm questioning a lot of things. When you're experiencing things like that within a person or group of people, that's kind of in a way spiritual warfare. I don't like saying these terms because it's so new agey, but it's true. So if you're experiencing those things, get away from these people because if they're making you feel confused, angry, a lot of anxiety, they're making you have all that adrenaline, all that fight and flight reactions, and they cloud your judgment. Get away from these types of people or person because that's pretty much a clear indicator that you shouldn't be around them and that they're not good for your mental or physical health pretty much. And they have bad intentions towards you. So it's part of a spiritual thing. But whenever I interact with these people, it's like either they're really dumb or it just seems like they have a lot of influence by a demonic entity or negative energy that's causing them to think at a certain way or to act a certain way. Because they weren't always like this. Or maybe they were, but I didn't realize it until I got older. Because you don't know your environment until you step away from it, and or until you grow and evolve, and now you can see things at a much clearer vision. You know what I'm saying? So this is how it is. But yeah, but that's the only reason why I don't mess with my family members. I don't want to interact with them. I'm not spending time with them. I don't want to visit them. It's not me out of pettiness or no. Like I genuinely don't want to do it, and I'm happy and I feel blessed. There are times while I was living with them like years ago, and I was worried if they're gonna kill me. I was worried if they're gonna like beat me up, and I had sleepless nights thinking about how scared and terrified I was with them. You know, because they're just so fucking violent, so explosive, and they're just very dangerous to me. There are times where like because when I got kicked out of the house, I was living with my grandma's house, and like, I was scared that they were gonna visit my grandma's house and try to like find me and take me away and eat or try to kill me and stuff like that. I didn't think I was gonna make it out alive. Yeah, so it was that dramatic, and I was that fucking scared, and I had sleepless nights and just a lot of crying and a lot of grieving because of all the injustices that I've experienced and all the unfairness and them laying hands on me, and it's ridiculous, man. But like I said, I feel like God does have my back, and at the end of the day, I am spiritually protected. I feel because that was theirs, but now I'm here. I live in complete different states away from them, like far away from them. I have my own place. I'm making stable income. I have my own vehicle. You know, I have a lot of opportunities. I need to help better my life and stuff like that, and I made something out of myself, and I'm healing. I feel safe and protected, and I have people around me that protect me, and I'm good. You know, I'm good. you know? So maybe that was God. Who knows? Obviously, I took action. I earned that shit, but maybe it is a higher power that's watching over me. You know what I'm saying? So I am good now. I'm good. I'm very good. But just thank God I'm not subjected to that environment no more. You know what I'm saying? But and no, I don't keep in contact with my grandma or anything like that because I realize that my grandma, she kind of still has the same mindset as them. She's not obviously not as violent or explosive like them, but she doesn't. I've noticed like she defends them, she protects them, and she doesn't see things from my point of view, or like she doesn't see that the harm in which they're doing to me. So that's why I cut her off, and that's fucking dangerous. So like any family members that have a correlation to my abusive family members, I just cut them off because either they have an agenda or like it's just not a good idea. So yeah, but I'm very happy and I'm blessed. But and I'm sure there's a lot of people also experiencing things I'm experiencing. If you experience those things, just know that I hope this video helps you know that you're not alone and that you're not going crazy. And if you feel like you're hesitating on a decision, just know that you made the right decision if you decide to cut all them off and so you can better yourself. I'm not saying to make a certain decision. I'm not saying to make a right decision or a bad decision. But all I'm saying is that like this video is confirmation that you're not alone, pretty much, and you're not going crazy. Now, whether you want to contact them or you want to stay with them, that's up to you. I'm not here to say I don't know your life. All of our lives are different. But what I'm saying is that this video is kind of a confirmation to know that you're not alone, pretty much. But yeah, but it's just weird though. Isn't it coincidence? Like, why is it that me and a lot of people on YouTube, we experience very similar things? Why is it that? Is it like a spiritual thing, or is it like, are we meant to, or is it like a group of people who are meant to experience similar things because we have similar life missions? Who the fuck knows? But that's all I gotta say, and have a good one. Peace.